Yes, sir. So my name is Ankita Panigrahi. So I have been born and brought up in Cuttack. So telling about my educational qualification, so I am graduated from Law College. Before that, I have completed my +2 from Sarawala Women's College, and so my schooling was also in Cuttack. So currently, I am preparing for judiciary.
Okay. So, who was Sarawala?
Shailavada.
Who was Soilwala?
So I'm not aware of it.
Okay.
Who was Utkalvara Madhusudan?
Utkal Bora Madhusudan, he was the first barrister.
You know Utkalvara Madhusudan, don't know Soilwala?
No.
You read there? Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, that was it.
Sarawala is daughter.
Okay, sir. Sorry, sir. I was not aware.
Okay. So,
Pachari Samu? Pachari.
what is suo motu?
So motu, where court at its own discretion takes up a matter, it is called suo motu.
What is the split judgment?
When a judgment is divided among the opinion of judges is divided, so it is called split judgment.
Okay. So, justice denied is justice delayed.
Yes, sir.
Will you please give your opinion on this?
Yes, sir. So, because justice is the immediate need of a person, so if it is delayed, so it is violating his personal rights. So that is why I feel the maxim is correct in its stand.
So, what is the position in our country?
Yes, sir. So it is delayed. So I agree that it is delayed, but sir, there must be some changes that can be brought.
What is your opinion? Why it is delayed?
Ma'am, one reason may be that recruitment of judges are slow. And ma'am, more efficient judges are need to be.
And judges are not too efficient.
Yes, ma'am, efficient. But
What, beside that, what is next point?
ma'am, also judges are not opting the ADR resolution system often, which is mandatory provision. If the case satisfies the need, then ADR must be a solution. So, so there are cases where it can be done, but it is not happening. So, ma'am, that may
Any
be
other?
ma'am, this
Do
much.
you think that the procedural
Lengthy.
or CRPC, CPC, all these procedures also delaying the judgment?
Ma'am,
Do you think that?
no, ma'am, because procedure are exhaustive. There are exhaustive procedures given in CRPC and CPC.
Exactly. It
Yes.
is not the cause of delay in judgment.
Yes, ma'am, maybe, but yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it is delaying because of that.
It is one of the cause. I say it is
Yes.
one of the.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yes, ma'am.
So government is now thinking about the amendment of
Amendment
the
of
act
the
and
act.
new
Yes,
CRPC,
yes,
new
ma'am.
code. What do you mean by uniform civil code?
Ma'am, where all the religion of people, all communities will be under same code. Like we are uniform civil code, we have uniform civil code in cases of criminal and civil matters, but our personal laws are conflicted. So, ma'am, that is uniform civil law to bring all the communities
Give me
together.
an example where you will get benefit out of the uniform civil code.
Ma'am, women community is the community who will mostly be benefited by uniform civil code, I feel.
Acha. Can a Muslim lady adopt a child?
Muslim lady, ma'am?
Is there any provision of adoption in Muslim law?
No, ma'am. There is no concept of adoption.
When she can get adoption? Only in case of uniform civil code.
Civil code, exactly, ma'am.
Yeah. Can a widow Hindu lady adopt a male child?
Yes, ma'am.
What should be the procedure?
Ma'am, she must be, ma'am, she must be major. She is a Hindu, she must be major, and the child she is adopting, he must be capable of adoption, and there must be 21 years of gap between them.
If he is a Male child.
Male
If
child.
it is a female child,
Ma'am, there is no such age gap is given in the code, ma'am.
child must be.
Under the age of 15 years.
Yes. Under which procedure she will adopt?
Hindu
What is-
Adoption and Maintenance Act.
A Christian lady.
Yes, ma'am.
Can a Christian lady adopt a child?
Ma'am, I'm not aware about any.
Are you aware of a Kara guideline?
No, ma'am, sorry.
This is the main thing nowadays in India going on Kara guideline. On the Kara guideline, everybody can adopt a child.
Achha.
Okay. Under Hindu law, if you have a son, can you adopt? Can a male person
No,
also
no,
adopt
ma'am.
a son?
No, ma'am.
But under Kara guideline, he
He
can
can.
adopt.
Achha.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Acha. Tell me, under which article of the Constitution legal aid is formed?
Legal aid.
Legal Services Authority Act is formed.
Ma'am, sorry, ma'am, I'm not aware.
Okay. Legal awareness, you.
What is natural justice?
So natural justice is based on three principles generally. Ma'am, rule against bias. Then ma'am, audio ultram pattern that nobody should be remain unheard. And so this two is coming to my mind. There is a third point, but I'm not able to recall now.
And the order should be? The third parameter is the order should be speaking.
Okay.
It should be a speaking order.
Yes.
What is local act?
Suppose,
Ma'am, Lok Adalat is generally a body formed for speedy delivery of justice.
Under which act?
Ma'am, Legal Services Authorities Act.
PG?
Speedy justice,
Only
speedy
speedy
trial,
justice.
speedy trial. Ma'am, to reach the people in
Like
remote
justice
areas.
at the door.
Yes, ma'am, justice at the door. Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by estoppel?
Estoppel is a concept whereby a person who has said something by words or conduct thereby is denied from resolving that, repudiating that statement in a later stage.
so how many types of
Estoppel.
estoppels are there?
So estoppel by conduct, so estoppel by deed, so estoppel by judgments are estoppel. So
Can you give an example of estoppel by judgment?
yes, ma'am. Where ma'am res judicata,
Res judicata is totally different
different
from
concept.
estoppel.
Yes, ma'am.
Res judicata is totally different.
Different,
What
yes.
is, you say, what is res judicata?
Ma'am, res judicata is when a matter has been decided by a competent authority, competent court. It cannot be litigated again.
Decided by
Yes, ma'am.
court. Acha, if you file a civil suit,
Yes, ma'am.
you and your sisters are the plaintiff. One of your sister died. Then what will happen to the suit?
Ma'am, if the right to sue survives, then the suit will continue.
How?
Ma'am,
What is
with-
the best procedure?
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my sister's legal representative will be
Will
made of
substitute.
substituted by the legal representative. Then we can continue the suit.
When a plaint is rejected,
Ma'am, if there is no cause of action apparent on the plaint, if there is, it does not sufficiently stand if it is undervalued, ma'am, under rule 11 of order 7, it can be rejected.
then limitation, the point of limitation.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It is under which procedure of CPC?
Ma'am, rejection of plaint. Sorry, ma'am, not coming to
Okay,
my
okay,
mind.
okay. What do you mean by a receiver?
Receiver is a person who is impartial person appointed by a court, who is an officer of court to manage or protect the property during the pendency of the suit.
If a person raises a construction over your plot, you want to remove the same and to restrain the same, what procedure you will adopt?
Ma'am, I can file for temporary injunction, ma'am.
For removal of the same?
Ma'am, from restraining, oh ma'am, you are saying to restrain, to pull out the
To
construction.
remove the construction and not to allow him for further construction.
Then ma'am, if to remove it, I have to file for mandatory injunction to compel an action.
What do you mean by execution?
Ma'am, it is the giving effect to a decree or order. The process is called,
Who
ma'am.
can file an execution?
Ma'am, the decree holder.
Only decree.
No, ma'am, his legal.
Can a third party file the execution case?
Ma'am, if he is interested in the suit, then
If he has interest in the suit.
Yes.
Okay. What is the jurisdiction of a civil court? What do you mean by jurisdiction? How many type of jurisdiction?
Ma'am, jurisdiction basically is the authority to decide a cause. So, ma'am, in civil cases, all suit of civil nature can be taken by the court, except the suits which are expressly or impliedly barred.
Jurisdiction are two types, pecuniary jurisdiction and territorial.
Territorial jurisdiction. Yes.
What is territorial jurisdiction?
Ma'am, that court can take up the matter if it is coming within its territorial jurisdiction, ma'am, within a territory.
Territory, how territory is determined, you know?
No, ma'am.
GHO, you will go to the, okay, sir, aapne pachadu, next one.
Can you name who was the first women justice in Odisha High Court?
I know, but
She was the daughter of one of the chief justices of Odisha.
so I know, but not coming to my mind right now. I read about it, so I will read.
Soumya Balapadi.
Mrs. Soumya
Amya
Balapadi.
Balapadi,
A
yes.
second judge, who is the second judge?
Ma'am, she is currently maybe in high.
No.
Acha.
Now currently who is, he is the third, second
Acha. No, ma'am. No.
Justice Miss Sanju Panda.
Sanju Bhatt.
Now Justice Savitri Ratna.
Acha, yes.
Who is the first woman justice in the Supreme Court?
No, ma'am, I will read up on that.
Okay.
So, you should have such knowledge.
Yes, sir. Yes, I have read, but
How
I have not
many,
revised.
how many types of courts are there?
Sorry.
Contention wise, not by hierarchy.
So civil courts and criminal courts, and so there are also special courts by special enactments.
Revenue courts are there also.
Yes, sir. That deals with tax and revenue matters.
So what is the difference between the tribunal and commission?
Tribunal and commissions.
Commission.
Sorry, sir.
Achha, what is the difference between act and rule?
So act is when it is passed by a legislature by a majority, but a rule is. So I'm not aware of rule.
What is the relationship of act and rule?
Sorry, sir. I will read up on that.
Rule is how act can be carried out.
Yes.
The implementing party.
Executive portion is the rule.
Yes.
Generally, state government made the rule. Central act, state government made the
Rules.
rules.
Yes.
So that rules are made. Achha. What is the difference between robbery and docket?
Ma'am, when a robbery is committed by 5 or more person, it becomes docket.
By hacking, money is transferred from your account. What offense the person has committed?
Hacking. Ma'am, it may come under theft.
Theft may. You are not,
Not
sure.
sure.
You are not sure. By looting ATM in the night, what offense?
By night. Ma'am, no number of person is there.
You should not ask me.
Ma'am,
This is my question.
Yes.
never ask question to your board member.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
That
sorry,
is the
ma'am.
trick.
Sorry,
That is the
ma'am.
trick.
Sorry.
If 5% you say, you can
Yes.
reply. If 5% that is
And
okay.
yes.
Less than 5% that is okay.
Robbery, yes.
You can say.
Yes.
Okay. If a person committed theft in Bhubaneswar, from your house he committed theft of some ornament in Bhubaneswar, then he fled away to Bombay. There he sold the property. Where the affair will be lost?
Ma'am, now there is a concept of zero affair that can be lost everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes, ma'am. But
And the person who received the stolen article, under which section he will be booked?
ma'am, yes, ma'am. There is a provision for receiving stolen property, ma'am. Probably 414.
Receipt of the stolen property, knowing the same to be stolen.
Stolen. Yes.
Okay. Acha, what is the jurisdiction of a criminal court?
Jurisdiction of a criminal court.
Many a time you heard police say this is not jurisdiction within our PS. You go there. Likewise, it is the jurisdiction of the criminal court also. Can an offence committed at Kotak be tried under Bhubaneswar?
Ma'am, generally where the offence has been committed, it is the where the jurisdiction of the court is concerned, in the same territory it will be tried.
Sorry. The case of cheat fund, misappropriation cheat fund, comes under which act, which section of the IPC?
Cheat fund. Ma'am, misappropriation of property? No, ma'am, sorry, ma'am. I'll read up on that.
Okay. What do you mean by, what is the difference in legal position between section 304B IPC and section 306 IPC?
306. Ma'am, 304B says about of IPC says about dowry death, and 306 is abatement of suicide. Yes, ma'am.
What is the legal difference? What in 304B IPC? What is the value of Evidence Act?
Yes, ma'am.
114D.
Ma'am,
What is?
Ma'am,
Presumption what?
ma'am, sal presumption is taken in case of a woman who has been whose death has been caused between 7 years of marriage. A presumption is sal presumption is there,
Then only 7 years, right? Just before death.
and she has been treated with cruelty and harassment.
Exactly. These are the main difference between there.
Yes.
Okay. You say, what is a void contract?
Ma'am, a contract which is enforceable from the beginning, but later due to some uncertainty or impossibility, it has become void.
Do you know about the disappearance of evidence? Generally, in which case this section is applicable?
Ma'am, disappearance of evidence.
Under which section?
Ma'am, I cannot.
Generally, dowry burning case, they disappear after burning the dowry, burning the
Woman, body of
bride.
woman. Yes.
They disappear them. That comes under which section?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
304B and 201.
201, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What is common intention and common object?
Ma'am, in common intention there is a prior meeting of minds, but in common object the act should there is a 5 common objects given in 141 of IPC. If the act is committed in further crimes of common object, then 149 will be invoked. But if it comes under prior meeting of minds and common intention, then they will be liable for 34.
Tell me, a boy aged about 14 years committed rape on a girl of 13 years. In which court he will be tried? Under which act and which court?
Juvenile Justice Act.
Under which act?
Ma'am, Juvenile Justice Act is there.
Acha, an adult person committed rape under 13 years old. Which act?
Ma'am, according to IPC,
No, POCSO.
POCSO Act, a minor girl is there. Yes, ma'am.
You should be aware about the.
Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
POCSO Act. Okay. Sir, आपको बताओ.
Do you think that the legal awareness among the common people of India is there?
No, sir. There are people from backward classes. They don't know about the legal developments that has been made, because law is a changing process. It changes with society. So by the time we are developing many laws, and they are not aware of it.
So what are the demerits if the people are not conscious about their
So they are
legal-
so they are not able to claim the rights they have. They do not even know that they have these rights and they can enforce it. And so, that's why they are suffering for no reason.
So have you got an idea that the government has taken any step towards the enhancement of the legal awareness of people?
No, sir, I'm not aware of it.
What is the directive principles of state policy?
So these are the principles given in the constitution, which the state governments shall follow while governing the country.
Is it compulsory to be?
No, sir, these are not enforceable.
The judiciary factors is mentioned in which chapter of Indian Constitution?
Which pillar? Judiciary.
Ma'am, sir, I'm unable to understand the question. Sir.
Legal Services Authority under which article?
Sorry, ma'am.
The Supreme Court, High Court. What is the
Yes,
retirement
So,
years of-
Supreme Courts are there in Article 124 onwards, and High Courts are there in Article 226 and onwards, 224 and onwards.
Suppose you will be,
No, Pacha.
suppose you will be enhanced to the position of the judge of Orissa High Court. After your retirement, you desire to be an advocate in the High Court.
Yes, sir.
And you practice.
So can you be permitted for the purpose?
So, after retirement, so I feel yes, I can.
Is there any provision?
So, I'm not aware. Not permissible? Yes, sir.
Is it Article 220
So-
of Indian Constitution?
After retirement
That
also will not
is-
be.
No,
You
after
can
retiring
practice.
is not to plead in the same court.
Not in
Supreme
the
Court,
same-
same court, okay.
Not in the same.
But Supreme Court judges are not permitted
Not
to
at all
court.
allowed.
Only
In any
High
court
Court is
judges.
allowed to practice at
Supreme Court. Ma'am, that can be done while they are still judges, ma'am. High Court judges can practice in Supreme Court.
Supreme Court only, not Supreme Court judges.
Yes.
How many types of reach?
Reads, ma'am, 5 type of reads. Ma'am, read of certiorari, then prohibition, then mandamus, quorum and habeas corpus.
Give an example of writ of mandamus.
Ma'am, mandamus basically deals with a direction given to a public servant that in what authority you are holding the chair or the authority.
Generally it is given to police. Why you have arrested, they are not producing you. When a police, what is the time limit for the police to produce the suspect who he apprehended before the nearest magistrate?
Ma'am, 24 hours.
The police arrested a person at Bombay. Offence is committed at Odisha. How he will bring the accused to the Bombay? To this
Ma'am, a transit remand maybe.
Where he will?
Ma'am, he will be brought to Bombay,
He will be brought to Odisha.
Odisha.
Where he will transit remand?
Ma'am, Odisha court can issue a transit remand for for transferring the accused to Odisha.
What do you mean by judicial custody and police custody?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, police custody is given generally within the 15 days that from the day when he appears before magistrate for the first time. Thereafter, depending upon the facts and circumstances of the case or how much it is punishable, after 60 or 90 days, for 60 or 90 days they are committed to judicial custody.
Only 50 or 90 days at the time of trial where he will.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. In that time also.
What is the difference between a accused and convict?
Ma'am, accused is a person who is suspected of committing the crime, but convicted is a person certainly who has committed the crime and declared by the court that he is convicted.
Is there provision of pardon in our Indian Constitution?
Yes,
Under
ma'am.
which section?
Ma'am, Constitution I'm not aware. CRPC there is
Which
a
article? You are not aware.
Government
Which section of the CRPC?
306, ma'am.
300 CRPC. Sure, okay. Constitution you are not.
Ma'am, it was not in my optionals. I only read it for the prelims.
Before 30 districts, how many districts are there in Odisha?
So I'm not sure.
Under which chief ministership these 13 districts were increased to 30 districts?
So, Sri Biju Patnaik.
Yes. So what are the border states, border districts of Odisha?
Yes, sir. So, Ganjam is there. So then, so in, sorry, sir.
What do you mean by mortgage?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, when a specific interest in an immovable property is transferred for creating a security over a money advance, it is called mortgage.
When a mortgage is redeemed?
Ma'am, it can be redeemed any time after the principal amount is due.
What is a gift?
Gift is basically the voluntary transfer of a property without any consideration.
Is a gift is necessarily required to be registered?
Yes, ma'am.
What is a will?
Ma'am, will is a testamentary document whereby a person names a person to whom the property will go after his death.
How a will be acted upon?
Ma'am, as far as my limited knowledge of probate is probate, that is a certificate of a will is get granted from a court.
In all the district of the Odisha, probate is not applicable. In some district, you have filed a suit for declaration of the title on the basis of it. Is a will required to be registered?
Ma'am,
You don't know. Okay.
Suppose a case is sub judice
yes, sir.
in Odisha High Court. The plaintiff wants the early hearing of it and they approach, file the suit before Supreme Court of India.
So he will be debarred from filing.
Why?
So as the principle of res sub judice is there, if a former suit is already pending in a court of competent jurisdiction, there cannot be any other suit in trial.
But his grievance is, it is not meant, since long that it is pending, he is suffering for the purpose.
But still, sir, he will be debarred from filing.
Has Supreme Court the power to direct any court that to complete the hearing within specified date?
Yes, Supreme Court can.
Is section 377 IPC is totally abolished?